Okay, this is November 2005, and this is important because I think that it directly relates...
November 2005?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It directly relates to my child and what my child is going through right now, and I think she doesn't... I don't want her to have to wait until she's 25 for this epiphany. Each look that you take is without the dream that's everlasting, in that it occurs often when one gets lost in the intrigue that vision defies. Oh, be in praise of the magnificence in sight. I must say it is quite the look, the one you take. However, the way of its overview happens far too quickly with this scanned, steadfast watch, on purpose, to appear unattentive, unconcerned. You do not want them to know you care so intently devoted. And in your brevity, with one blink, the one blink that leads all to think you're not aware, with that playful innocence you disguise in, that naive, clueless act you play with your vastly round, knownless eyes, which I will say is clever only for an aimless purpose. So, with much urgency, I tell you this. Know the one thing that's more deceiving than your staged oblivion is that all of the beautiful treasures surrounding what you seek are unseen and will remain unseen, as you're blinking far too quickly, and this, my friend, leaves you quite blind. Visionless, you're not going to see the promise in things of progress or growth by any possibility of the true nature within the universe. Your incognition has limited you so greatly. I pray your mind open to accept this truth. For you are caged, my dearest, and the cell you reside in leaves you blind to not just this prison, prevented by all of cannots and possibilities that only exist by your restriction, when in fact your sight begins set towards a process that you initially had purpose of being, or becoming rather, this unseen servant of others at all times, as dedication of your life's path was to be led by the needs of all other than yourself. And this prison of stone-cold walls that you stack together all around you, with all the fears and doubts you scare of, all those years of visions that haunt you, could be well-rested peaceful nights. All those times of pain from those loveless that live on in the memories you keep locked inside of yourself. Assuming the worst of all absolute, being that they'll remain loveless. And you will do it all alone, without the exchange of the same kindness your love lives in. You are left to feel safe in the darkness night holds, by finding comfort that neither faith nor hope will ever look at you with the same dedication and relentless will so insatiable its drive carries on out of your control in such a way, with no reward or promise of rest in this life. The very souls you give of absolute devotion, which has a process of that which only happens with time. Secretly desperate, you long to be seen, and are always disappointed day after day when you are not, year after year. So, your preparation's expectation is to help ease the hurt that pains you as you go on unseen, by knowing you won't be. Yet each time you're not, does this predetermined hopelessness diminish the devastation? Does not having faith in the gift of opportunity to do the right thing lessen your disappointment or shock every time? No. Nope. Not one bit. Not in a full day, blow after blow, not in a year with the same group of individuals only changing toward regression, which in turn can only be the most frustrating loneliness of feeling unloved in such an insulting way, far too familiar to be such a stranger to those who aren't paying the attention you are, because you truly aren't as important to them as they are to you. And that is good and beautiful truth to you, but in fact it is not good for you at all, because what you miss is that the hope and faith that you are giving simply won't be received. If you don't have faith in the ones you serve to show hope, your service is without cause by its false work. And protecting your sensitivity by preparing for the worst and expecting just that, your purpose loses all strength and eliminates all possibility of faith and hope to be restored and grow into the future. So you, sweet child, forget to notice the light of the moon that falls from the black sky. The shape of the sky's clouds you depict and form to be of the things you're watchful for. You are presumptuous to be secure in your define of certainty. All that is of your accord you are sure of. What exists by the reality that you predict and then expect, which must always deliver and does, the match that's identical to your ideal you've acquainted with certainty. For this is your rationale of bringing sense to the things senseless. But you see nothing, and are but a fool to believe your casual peeking is some form of an effective technique you've mastered and truly think you're staring intently in your centered observation, because if you do, you are not at all as bright as I had known you were. For the clouds you watch are not predictable or solid, and will change by every way and mean in shapes of inanimate motion, changing constantly and forever, to not ever be capable of a labeled genre and sections grouped so tedious order would have symmetry to be. So your wink looks way too fast to notice the uncontrollable nature of all, each unique without repetition, individual and different each time, with all the path of every way twice won't happen for any two to be the same. This constant that evolves consistently scares you, but yet always you're safe with the protection you've made believe and know. All you know that's extraordinary is confused and sheltered by your dreary soulful grip hanging on to control for order. Your spring blossoms of new growth are plucked buds from your very own hands. You steal from yourself and hide in your imprisoned castle, your majestic kingdom. It's always near to surround your unopened eyes, this prison of your bidden heart that you look upon as though you're of royal blood, regal to roam in the echo of your every foot's fall within the halls of vast emptiness, only to watch any detail of significance from behind the windows of stained rose-colored glass, peeking out from behind thick colors of puzzled fragments that inhibit your view by the ways of so many, hiding from the world inside this castle's solid walls as you claim to be free from behind the bars of your cage you don't see and swear is but your humble abode, ticking along your precious kingdom with your every step. I am here to tell you what I see is the frail hinges eroded with rust that piece together your crumbling walls of pretend make-believe. My eye is rare to be, and I must awaken you with the air you truly reign. Fearful and timid to point out these imaginary visions, this world of yours that you paint so sincerely around you. The colorful wet hues that you use to hide your black and white eyes of canvas that lie in your head, restful upon a throne of velvet demure, genuine in feeling the weight of a crown placed upon your tender head that's not there, creating this toxic haze of hypnosis that controls your faded mind. Foggy thoughts of all you see or think you see, and here is no longer you in control of your soul, and this, whatever it is, invades what you've surrendered and is not you at all anymore. Although one must be careful to always be conscious of aware, and its necessity to be remembered or it's gone. If it's as good as forgotten's memory, it is nothing, and it ever existing with proof of a memory, if it's forgotten, then there's nothing that ever was if no one remembers. Just as the air reminds the lungs to breathe, I too will remind that when at play barefoot in the sand of the ocean's broad beaches, the tide rolls in, and the waves come to crash by the gravity of a weightless moon that pulls forth waning or waxing, new full or crescents to come with composure's placid trance. One can get lost in the beauty of aloneness that comes with the steady waves of ocean's call, where the tides are like wings that fly you away to forgetting, left remembering nothing but the world's beauty, ornate with intricate silence to whisper eternal reminders so deep over time, its awareness is chiseled into the soul of memory's immortal energy, beating with life, captive by these moments of reticence, dazing into the empty stare of a dream, then you and your blink snap. Awake, you look around only to see the compound of your castle is gone. Nowhere to be found, not even the remnants of something left behind. Stricken with vision to see all that is clear around you, within your very soul. For whatever it was, this stellar home front made of solid rock was not of stone at all. This nostalgic magnificence of yours was made of the very sand sloshing between your childlike toes and the kiss of the sea's waters, just where the sand and the beach meet, the sweet splash of what's left in the wake that captides the breaker's crest with salted froth. For your kingdom of sand, you see, has become one with this living undulation that breathes air bubbles to life. Swayed in cadence, infinite is not just the horizon, it is God, and God is you. You may want to go back and watch that again, just in case you miss a bit. Huh?
Yeah,